بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. The reason I repeat that line, dear viewers, is tonight is the night of the Ashab, the night of the Ansar, the night we commemorate those who sacrificed their lives in the path of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, those glorious companions that had every opportunity throughout the journey to move on, to leave the caravan, knowing what their end would be. They still chose to stay and defend Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. I thought before I welcome you, dear viewers, I would just mention that as it was part of the ziyarah. But again, I do welcome you, dear viewers, to the show Verses of Love, where we aim to touch your heart with the verses of lamentation, the verses of love. Try to bring a tear to your eyes in these holy nights, these nights of lamentation. Tonight, inshallah, I'll be joined by my dear brother and friend, Sayyid Reda al-Musawi. But before we welcome him, inshallah, we will be hearing a few lines of poetry and aza from our dear friend Khadim al-Hussein, Mullah Rashid Haidar. نستقبله بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
محمد. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Allahu Akbar are the words that Habib cries in battle, and at the foot of the battle watch him smile as he kneels. He says to himself, how great is Allah with no parallel, that the Imam behind me named Hussein is actually real. Ya Hussein, truth among lies, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, truth among lies, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Allahu Akbar, how the men of God are men of Hussein, how they gave up all that they were until only Hussein remained. How Abbas threw away his mind until they would call him insane. They saw Hussein, sat with Hussein, spoke with Hussein, can they be blamed? Ya Hussein, we've lost our mind, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, we've lost our mind, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry, here we are ready to die. Allahu Akbar, how the men of God are men of Hussein, how they gave up all that they were until only Hussein remained. How Abbas threw away his mind until they would call him insane. They saw Hussein, sat with Hussein, spoke with Hussein, can they be blamed? Ya Hussein, we've lost our minds. Here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, we've lost our minds. Here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry. Here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry. Here we are ready to die. I am no one in this life until I become of his Ansar. Let this world take what it wants, I will stand there still bearing my scars. I see Habib looking into the distance and he sees afar the servants of Hussein running and they're shouting, oh here we are. Ya Hussein, drawn in their eye, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, drawn in their eye, here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry. Here we are ready to die. Ya Hussein, all of them cry. Here we are ready to die. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعدائهم. أحسنت Mullah Rashid, طيب الله أنفاسك. Beautiful words. Mullah, who was the poet to that Latmiya?
The poet was Nouri Sanda.
Ahsant. May Allah bless him and bless you for the words and for that recitation. Jazakallah khair al-jaza. The men of Hussein, the men of Allah are the men of Hussein. I really like that line specifically. If you're not with Hussein, you're not with God. I think, as we say in Arabic, نقطة راس سطر. That's it, done. Next paragraph, next point. To be the man of God, you need to be a man of Hussein, man of Abbas, man of the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. And the companions that were martyred on the plains of Karbala truly were those men. They had every opportunity to leave in the dark of the night throughout the journey, just not join. And Imam Hussein would not have said anything to. In fact, he presented them with the opportunity at one point, but they chose to stay. They chose to defend Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And one by one they gave their lives on the plains of Karbala. Sayyidina, Assalamu alaikum, of course, I didn't welcome you accordingly. Sayyidina, what kind of status do companions like this gain after such a sacrifice?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. القول مني في جميع الأشياء قول آل محمد فيما أسروا وما أعلنوا وفيما بلغني عنهم وفيما لم يبلغني. The companions of Imam al-Hussein, I mean, where do we begin? Where do we start? I think the best thing we can start off with is an excerpt from the ziyarah that Imam al-Sadiq presents to the companions where he says, أنتم سادة الشهداء في الدنيا والآخرة. You are the masters of the martyrs in this world and the hereafter. Obviously we have the master of all the martyrs is Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. And those that are with him compared to the people of the dunya and the akhirah are also the masters of the martyrs. We also have Imam al-Hussein himself. What does he say when he speaks to them the night of the 10th? He says, فإني لا أعلم أصحابا أوفى ولا خيرا من أصحابي. I do not know companions more loyal and better than my companions. Obviously, when the Imam says, I do not know any other companions, what does that mean? Does that mean that it's just that the Imam doesn't know and they may be out there better companions? No. Because as we know, the knowledge of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is from Allah Azza wa Jal. It is encompassing. So when the Imam says, I do not know, it is a metaphorical term to say that there is no other companions better and more loyal than the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. And we see in the ziyarah, we say, Assalamu alaikum ya awliya Allah wa ahibba'ih. Peace be upon you, O representatives of Allah and the ones whom Allah loves. أحب الله من أحب حسينا, because of their love for Imam al-Hussein. Assalamu alaikum ya asfiya Allahi wa awidda'ih, those who are close to Allah, those who have been purified and chosen from Allah. Assalamu alaikum ya ansara dinillah, peace be upon you, O ones who were the aiders for the religion of Allah, the ones who stood and sacrificed for the religion of Allah. Who is the religion of Allah in this instance? It is Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam, showcasing their sacrifice and their status in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. And when we say in another part of the ziyarah, bi abi antum wa ummi, may my mother and my father be a sacrifice for you.
Ya Aba Abdullah. Ya Aba Abdullah.
Both for Imam al-Hussein and for his Ansar. I am saying may my mother and father be a sacrifice for Burayr. May my mother and father be a sacrifice for John, for Habib, for Zuhair, for Al-Hur. May my mother and father be a sacrifice for them, showcasing their high status. And then it says, طِبْتُمْ وَطَابَتِ الْأَرْضِ الَّذِي فِيهَا دُفِنْتُمْ, you are pure and the earth that you are buried in is pure. But why is the earth that they are buried in pure? Is it because the earth was pure so they became pure when they were buried? No. Them being buried in the earth is what made that earth pure. Because of them. Just some of these statements highlight the greatness of the ashab, and we will allude to throughout, inshallah, the rest of this episode. Now, it links us to another point of the ziyarah, where we also can understand this point. Where we say, after we said, طِبْتُمْ وَطَابَتِ الْأَرْضَ الَّذِي فِيهَا دُفِنْتُمْ, we say, يَا لَيْتَنَا كُنَّا مَعَكُمْ فَنَفُوزَ وَاللَّهِ فَوْزًا. We wish we were with you there on that day, for we would have succeeded a great victory. What do we mean when we say this? Because we have to understand, like we mentioned the other day, and you made a beautiful point, that we have to analyze these ziyarat. These ziyarat have depth in them and have knowledge in them that we have to understand.
The lessons we take from them,
of course, we cannot just read them and visit. Of course, it is a visitation, but we have to understand that they have hidden meanings and deep meanings. Couple of points. When we say we wish we were with you so we would succeed a great victory, we are wishing to be with them is also a form of a covenant, a ahd, a promise that if we were ever in that instance that we were with you, we would have done what you would have done. So this is the Imam is teaching us in the ziyarah that we have to live our lives with that on our mind, where we are saying that Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, and we mentioned this before, that we will be tested every day for this statement. That you say you wish you were there with Imam al-Hussein on the day, you would have done the same thing as Habib, you would have done the same thing as John, you would have done the same thing as Wahab. Prove it in your daily life.
Exactly.
When you come to the Husayniyah and you do khidr, prove that.
Exactly.
Prove that statement, because this is a very important statement, and that's why we are saying, Ya laytana, we wish, we have this yearn to be amongst them.
I think the statement is a make or break statement for a lot of people.
100%.
It shows true colors. We can say it day and night, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum ziyara, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum. The whole shebang, as we say.
Ahsan.
But if it's not shown in your actions, if it's not shown, when we say Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, yes, we love Abu Abdullah, but it is because he is the Imam. But we still have an Imam, and I'm sure you're going to allude to this. We still have an Imam, and this is where our chance to prove if we're saying Ya laytana kunna ma'akum is real, or we're just saying it for the sake of it, to say I'm Shi'i.
Ahsant. It's a very important point, this one, that we have to make sure. لما تقولون ما لا تفعلون كبر مقتا عند الله. Why do you do what you do not say, and why do you say what you do not do? This is something that's big in the eyes of Allah. This is something that isn't taken lightly. When we say Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, the Imam is teaching us that when you say this, make sure also your actions are in accordance with this statement, that your wish, your yearn to be with Imam al-Hussein on that day, to make sure that you would not be against the Imam but with him. Another point that we see from this phrase is that we have that, inshallah, we receive the reward as if we were there when we say this phrase. It's a very rewarding phrase when we say it. And as our great lecturers and speakers, when they begin their na'i, part of that is Ya laytana kunna ma'akum fanafuza wallahi fawzan azima. Inshallah, we get that reward. And we see this, the evidence for this, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, when he went to visit Imam al-Hussein, one of the first people who visited Imam al-Hussein, he says, أشهد أن قد شاركناكم فيما أنتم فيه. I bear witness that we have become partners in the reward of what you have went through. He was with Atiyya al-Awfi. Atiyya al-Awfi was a scholar in his own right. He questions what Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari says. He says, how can you say this? These people, they sacrificed themselves, they died, they bled, their limbs were cut off, their heads were cut off, they were thirsty, they were hungry, and you are saying that I bear God as my witness that we have received the same reward as you. Where did you get this from? So he questions Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, to which Jabir answers him, and he tells him that this isn't something from my own accord. I heard my grandfather, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, say, my master, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, say, "Man ahabba amala qawmin ushrika fi amalihim." Whoever loves a deed of a people, of a tribe, he becomes their partner in that deed that they do. So if it's a bad deed, he becomes a partner in that bad deed. You see, sometimes
it's like moral support.
Ahsant. Yeah. Sometimes you see our shabab, they glorify the life of sin and they look out for it and they listen to it and they yearn to be a part of it. The Prophet says, whoever loves a deed of a qawm, he becomes their sharik.
They might not do it, but if you're encouraging it.
If you love it, the fact that you love it. And the same thing with the good deed. When we love the amal of Habib, when we love what Zuhair ibn al-Qayn did, when we love what John did, we become insha'Allah, a sharik in that amal. And we also understand from that statement that their martyrdom was a victory. How does that make sense? Until you look at the battle of Karbala, you don't see a victory from the outside perspective. You see that
You see a massacre.
a small amount of men against a large amount of men, everything was done in a day, everyone was killed, slaughtered. Where's the victory in that? Why do we say فَنَفُوزَ وَاللَّهِ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا? If we were with you, we would have been victorious. When you look at it from a small lens into just the day of Ashura, you can say that. But look into a wider lens until today, you truly see that they are victorious. Where do we have any remembrance for the army of Umar ibn Sa'ad unless it's a remembrance of la'na and cursing upon them? But whereas you remember the army of Imam al-Hussein and all you have is to send Allah's mercy upon them and Allah's salutations upon them, that when we say Salamullah wa malaikatihi wa anbiya'ihi wa rusul, the salutations of Allah and His prophets and His angels upon them, it shows that they truly were victorious and they truly received this great reward. Just to understand a couple of points from that statement, which was Ya laytana kunna ma'akum fanafuza wallahi fawzan azim.
And truly, we do hope to be a part of those companions. What's interesting about the companions of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is they all had different circumstances during the time of the battle. It's not like it was a mobilized army, or they were all together that moved in one go towards Karbala. They came from different backgrounds, they came from different areas for different reasons. Abis, different reasons to John, different reasons to Hur. Hur was even part of the camp of Imam Hussein till the last moment. And it's like a magnet that just pulled them all together. And that magnet of salvation, like we said, make or break. If they didn't take that step, if they didn't make that choice of joining the Imam's camp at that time, specifically for Hur, it could have been a very different story for him in Qiyamah. But him taking that step, his heart breaking, asking for forgiveness from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, joining his camp, changed everything. It changed the balance. And like I said, it's not like it was a mobilized scheme where they went out and recruited. No, they saw it through the Imam's mannerisms, they saw it through the Imam's, the steps that he took.
Their fitrah awoke.
Their fitrah was a very important step. And this is something that, it's interesting you mentioned that. Even when it comes to the khidmah of Imam al-Hussein, I believe that if from above they don't want me to serve, I wouldn't be here to serve. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in the Husseiniyah. None of the shabab, the khiddam, the youth, if Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam does not want them to be in that place to serve, they would not be there to serve. So they need to count it as a blessing that the nadhra, the eye of Fatima al-Zahra salawatullah salamu alayha, wants them to be in this place, wants them to serve her son Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, wants them to be part of that process. And it leads me to my next point. What steps can we take to be like the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam? Because they are all from different backgrounds. There's not a specific sort of guideline. How can we take those steps to become part of that? Ya laytana kunna ma'akum. When our Imam, our awaited Imam, Sahib al-Zaman, may Allah hasten his reappearance, when he comes to us, how can we fit those characteristics that are needed to be part of his entourage, part of his army, part of his dawla?
Ahsantum. It's a beautiful point that we always try to link to the Imam of our time. Because as we notice, like we spoke about yesterday, every character from Karbala, every character that is connected to Karbala, we see the reason why they received such a high status was the link to the Imam of their time. And it's the same thing with us. So we can learn certain things from them that I feel like will be beneficial. The first thing is the companions and their insistence of being with the Imam, even if it is inconvenient for them and even if it meant shoring death. Insisting that they stay with the Imam, insisting that they will never leave the Imam's side. Us, are we like that? Do we insist of being with the Imam of our time, remembering the Imam of our time, even when it's inconvenient for us, or only when it is convenient?
That's a good point.
You see the companions of Imam al-Hussein, some of them, where the Imam spoke to, it was inconvenient for them, so they left the Imam. Where one of them says, he says, my Imam, I can't be with you, but I have my horse, take it. It's a very fast horse. And I have a shield, it's a very strong or a very good sword. I said, I don't want your horse, I don't want your shield. I'm trying to save you. When I tell you to come with me, you are going to be receiving eternal salvation.
It's for you.
It's for you. So I don't want your horse. Your horse isn't going to benefit me. Are we going to be like that person where when the Imam, every day the Imam is calling to us, every week the Imam is looking at our deeds. This is a metaphorical calling that the Imam does for us. Our daily deeds are related to the Imam of our time. Our salah is linked to the Imam of our time. Are we doing these actions only when it is convenient for us? And when it's inconvenient, we straight away let go of it. That is lesson number one. Lesson number two.
Just on that point, before you get into this, I can link it to a lot of stuff that's happening today, like straight in front of our eyes. The other day there was an England game. We're all football fans. I'm a big football fan. I would love to watch the Euros, but I started getting phone calls from some other Husseiniat and some youth organization. They were like, our majlis was, a lot of the shabab were not there during the game. So we say, لبيك يا حسين يا ليتنا كنا معكم. But the inconvenience of not watching a semi-final, of attending the majlis at the same time as the semi-final, why? They need to understand their priorities, our youth, I think. They need to understand that the majalis of Imam Hussein is their salvation. Football comes and goes. These other worldly things come and go. But the opportunity of being in the Imam Bargha, in the Husayniyah, of course, overcomes all of these things.
You linked it beautifully to my second point, which was that Ansar Imam al-Hussein, their prioritization of the Imam of their time was unlike any other. Their prioritization of the Imam of their time was like any other. And we see this where the equations in Karbala changed, well and truly changed. You have mothers, normally, they would do anything for their child. They would sacrifice everybody and anybody for their child. But the equation on Ashura flipped. The mother would tell her son, go and die for the sake of the son of Fatima. The wife would tell her husband, go and die for the sake of the son of Fatima. The equation flipped. The Ansar of Imam al-Hussein prioritized their Imam above everyone else. They didn't let their children affect them. They didn't let the dunya affect them. They didn't let anyone and anything affect them and affect that closeness to the Imam alayhi salam. Are we going to be like them with the Imam of our time, with our khidmah of the Imam? Or are we going to prioritize other things like Az-Zubayr, who up until the martyrdom of Sayyidah Zahra, he knew where she was buried. Where the second struck Lady Fatima, he wanted to unsheath his sword and hit him. If it wasn't for Ali ibn Abi Talib telling him, stop Az-Zubayr. But as soon as he had a son, he flipped. This is an example. Al-mal wal-banun zinatul hayat al-dunya. Any beautifications of this world, do you prioritize it above the Imam of our time? Would you prioritize your job above attending a majlis? Would you prioritize your work or anything you got to do in this world above the Imam of your time? Where he should be the center, the focal point of this aspect. That my Imam should revolve around everything, not everything else, and then my Imam. So our priority is also one of the lessons we can learn from the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
One thing we need to also remember, and I was speaking to Sayyid literally today about it. We think that the Imam needs us when we say احنا خدام al-Hussein, or we need to come serve so the Imam's majalis can be full, or the Imam's majalis can have some barak, or we need to fill up the attendance so people can say the majlis of Imam Hussein is full. No, on the contrary, it's the opposite. We need the Imam. The whole purpose of these majalis is for us. It's for the spiritual uplifting of ourselves. I don't know what I would do with my life without the majalis of Imam Hussein.
You link it to a beautiful point, and perhaps this point, depending on our time, I'll end with. But with the Ansar, this what you just mentioned, when it came to the khidmah of their Imam, they supported one another in the sacrifice for Imam al-Hussein. We would see on the night of the 10th, they're sitting down worshipping Allah, speaking to each other. On the day of the 10th, one would push the other to go and sacrifice for Imam al-Hussein. The other one would be like, no, I want to go first and die in the path of Abu Abdullah. In today's day and age, are we supporting one another for the Imam of our time? Whether it's on an individual level, whether it's on the level of the centers, whether it's on the level of the khuddam, whether it's on the level of the speakers or the rawadid, where is our support for one another like the companions of Imam al-Hussein? Did Habib ever differ with Al-Hur, saying, no, I'm better than you, my love of Hussein is better than you? Or was it all support and love for one another? Where is our support and love for one another in the love of the Imam of our time? We always say, Hubb al-Hussein yajma'una. The love of Imam al-Hussein, like you said beautifully, it's a magnet. Why are we not revolving around the magnet? Why has this magnet caused an opposite magnet between us, where we push away from one another, where we do not visit one another, where we do not connect with one another? Instead, we are talking about
each other's majalis just to make our own majalis stronger.
Is that what the companions of Imam al-Hussein did? Is this what Ya laytana kunna ma'akum fanafuza wallah fawzan azima is? We have to understand, we have to learn. Are we going to sit every year in Ashura and listen to the masa'ib of the companions but never learn from them? Until what point are we going to continue to destroy one another, put one another down, and all of it in the name of the Imam, because I love the Imam more? To what end are we going to get through? Is this what the Imam of our time would be happy to see? Is this what would please him? Where are we from the companions of the Imam?
It's definitely, it's a good point you make, and it's, I think, one of the most important points that we can say, and links back to what you said at the start. We can say it from now till the morning, till next month. We wish we were with you. We wish we could fight alongside you. But if we're not showing that attitude now between ourselves and between each other, we're not the companions of the Imam. We're not the companions of Imam Hussein. If we're looking to disrupt each other and slow each other down and not be supportive as a community, then there's a lot of recalculations that we need to do about ourselves, so that inshallah we can cleanse our intentions and our niyyah when it comes to the khidmah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And I've really, taken a lot from the show, Sayyidina, and I thank you, because a lot of these lessons have been valuable life lessons for us. Even though we aim to make people cry as much as we can, so we can get the thawab of making people cry, but a lot of the lessons we learn from these nights, especially the nights of the Ansar, yesterday the nights of Muslim, there are a lot of life lessons that we can take, and inshallah we will do as well tomorrow on the night of Qamar Bani Hashim, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. But we'll leave the tears inshallah to our dear friend and brother Khadim al-Hussein Mullah Rashid, who will conclude the show with some aza and lamentation. We welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. Eyes will cry for you, time will pass and you remain. Eyes will cry for you, time will pass and you remain. In the heart a voice keeps calling out, oh Hussein. With 72 men you faced the tyrannical Yazid the ruler. Oh Hussein, gharib Karbala on the holy day Ashura. Strong you stand alone representing Muhammad and your father Haydara. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here. Rain was blood for you because the water was ashamed to descend while you're dying thirsty, Hussein. When you stood alone saying, am I not the Holy Prophet's grandson? Now the thousands of men that you quench with your holy hand leave you abandoned. But your Shia will mourn you till today, for you our eyes as Zamzam. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. Time erodes the rocks, but your love will never change. Time erodes the rocks, but your love will never change. Stronger than the rocks are the hearts who love Hussein. Oh Abbas, this is me, Sakina, so please return if you can hear me. I will never ask you for water, just one look from you will relieve me. You promised me that you'd look after me, so Abbas, how could you leave me? I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. Time erodes the rocks, but your love will never change. Stronger than the rocks are the hearts who love Hussein. Oh Abbas, this is me, Sakina, so please return if you can hear me. I will never ask you for water, just one look from you will relieve me. You promised me that you'd look after me, so Abbas, how could you leave me? I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here
Hussein here,
hey, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. Eyes will cry for you, time will pass and you remain. In the heart a voice keeps calling out, oh Hussein. With 72 men you face the tyrannical Yazid the ruler. Oh Hussein, غريبا بكربلاء on the holy day Ashura. Strong you stand alone representing Muhammad and your father Haydara. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. I will come again here for Hussein here, coming chained here to Karbala. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن أعدائهم. أحسنت. طيب الله أنفاسك مولا راشد. Thank you so much for your recitations and lamentations. Jazakallah khair jaza. Inshallah this time next year in Karbala, next to the dome of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, all of us together, us, the Khadama, the servants of Imam Hussein, inshallah. As we always say, we pray that the last words on our deathbeds are Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Dear viewers, pray for us, pray for those who need health on these holy nights. Pray for the reappearance first and foremost of our awaited Savior Imam Sahib al-Zaman, Ajallahu Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif. And we thank you for joining us and hope to see you same time tomorrow inshallah, where we commemorate the night of Qamar al-Ashira, Qamar Bani Hashim, Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. Thank you, and we see you tomorrow inshallah.